To join the Gallantians of the Galaxy?
I'm not sure if I'm worthy yet.
Yeah, the Gallantians of the Galaxy. It's a new thing.
Oh, really?
The Gallantians, not the Guardians, but the Gallantians of the Galaxy, yeah. I think that'd be good.
What's the criteria to get in?
Oh, just, work out, I guess. Yeah. So
Then I'm in.
It's pretty simple.
Then I'm in.
Train the muscles, not the joints. So I'm going to the gym today to do another whole body workout. But one thing I want to talk about is volume versus frequency. So a lot of times people are always in this debate, the chicken or the egg. But what I say is, why not both? Why not spend some time with higher volume training with less frequency in your program, and then spend times with super high frequency but lower volume, right? So you can kind of go back and forth. Now, of course, you can't do both at the same time. You can't do like 100 sets a day for each body part and then do that every single day. You will hit a point of no return. Like, you're not going to be able to recover from that. You'll overtrain. But there is a threshold that is probably ideal, and it may be different for each person. So a lot of you guys are reading the 10 commandments. Let's say that again. The 10 commandments of bodybuilding. But the thing is that these variations, just playing around with these subtle variables, can be so effective because it may be different for you at different times in your training. And sometimes you notice that you get a lot of results from doing 10 sets of body part 3 times a week. And then other times it's way too much volume or way too little. So you have to play around. You always have to push the limits, but not push them so far that you break, right? And yeah, you don't want to get too creative either. I see some guys doing some really messed up movements in the gym, and I'm like, what are you doing? It's like they're doing jujitsu on themselves, trying to find a way to, snap their arm in half somehow, and somehow they think their biceps are going to grow better that way. So yeah, don't do that type of experimentation. I think that's a little extreme. But the fact is that you can mess around with your sets and your frequency, and there's no real set rule on this. And I think depending on the person will depend on how much of a training threshold they have. So yeah, let's go to the gym. I'm going to go to Murph's gym in Chilliwack there. My favorite gym in the whole world. It's a great place. A lot of good people there. They paid me to say that. Actually, they don't pay me to say that. Nice mounted. Right over there. You see it? Yeah, so I find a lot of people, they have trouble experimenting with their volume and reps and stuff. And although I think there is a general efficiency level of reps and sets and frequency for each person, and I think it may vary slightly for each person, of course, right? Depending on their muscle fiber content, depending on how long they've been training, depending on how strong they are, depending on injuries. All these things play roles in the overall system of the body. But if you want just an idea of how to do this and how I do it and how I found it was most efficient, you can find this in the 2-day split training program, the 2-day split A, B, C, and D and stuff. And I outline the sets, reps, and rest and all that kind of stuff. So the thing is, generally speaking, if I'm going to train a body part every 2 days, I find 5 or 6 sets is most effective because you have the most amount of strength within the first 3 to 6 sets. And then from there, it starts to become a little bit more endurance oriented. And that's not necessarily a bad thing when it comes down to putting on muscle mass, but it can be a bad thing if you're just draining off your energy levels all the time and you're not actually challenging the muscle with intensity, which means, heavy weight, hitting near failure or failure, but safely failure. I talk about this in another video, should you go to failure all the time. The fact is, when you go super heavy, then sometimes failure can be a little bit too hard on the joints and ligaments and all this kind of stuff. So you want to make sure you're not hitting total uncontrolled failure. Let's put it that way. You want to be in controlled failure. You want to be in control of the weight. But the fact is, just because 3 to 6 sets might be the most efficient, doesn't mean that there isn't an added benefit to doing more volume and sometimes taking a day of extra recovery. And then sometimes doing super high frequency like I'm doing now. You're going to see that I'm going to do a whole body workout tonight. I pretty much hit all my body parts. Sometimes I'll leave one body part out or 2 small body parts or something, but usually I hit almost every body part, and then I'll do this every day for like 3 or 4 days in a row and then take a day off, or sometimes then I'll go back to a 2-day split for a period of time and do higher volume. So I go back and forth all the time. Okay, I gotta go to the butcher shop first though. Yeah, just come with me. Sorry for the interjection here. Somebody in the last video said that I was a Roman gladiator in a previous life. Now, I just wanted to straighten something out here. I wasn't a Roman gladiator. I was a Gallantiator. A Gallantiator, just so you know, okay? It's something different. It has to do with sitting around a lot, taking 2 naps a day, and doing a little bit of sword work. But anyway, you see the result right here. Ah, crap. changing the reps up is good. I like changing the reps up. I like changing the sets up. I like changing the frequency up. But I always seem to land back on frequency, because frequency is king in my opinion, because reminding the body constantly that it needs to adapt seems to be a more effective way to get those muscles to adapt, rather than just killing them once a week or once every 2 weeks and then waiting for them to recover. It's really all about what you tell your body to do on a daily basis. That's what it seems to respond to the best, and that's what I found. So just finished picking up my chicken and my beef at the Town Butcher. Town Butcher is the best butcher at Chilliwack. So if you guys live anywhere close to Chilliwack and you need a butcher, whatever, this is the guy to go to. Yeah, I get that Saigon peanut sauce here and stuff. You can't get that stuff anywhere else, but I just love that stuff on chicken and rice. But it's worth trying out. Anyway, if you haven't tried it out, it's worth trying out. Try it out on your chicken and rice. I think you'll love it. Pretty in my own mind. Pretty in my own mind. That's right. All about the angle, man. There's beauty inside. Unfortunately, my camera doesn't show that part. Supinating. Dun dun dun! Attacking the dumbbell lightly. Jason, your back is a little small. one way that I'd organize it if I were you, and this is the way that I find to be great for me, is you find your optimal frequent training type program. So maybe it's a 2-day split for you, maybe it's a 3-day split, whatever it might be. And the most frequent you could train is a body part every 2 days or 3 days, whatever that might be. And that will be your high frequency training program. And you spend 2, 3 to 4 weeks on that high frequency training program. And then what you do is you take an extra day or 2 off for each body part and you double the volume. And then you spend periods of time doing those workouts, like say 3-4 weeks, and then you go back and forth. And I find mixing it up like that is really effective in finding a way to push the muscle, sometimes in frequency and sometimes in volume. That way you're getting some hypertrophy along with that benefit of higher frequency training for periods of time as well. So that's the way I organize it. I go through periods of time where I'm doing whole body workouts every single day, and I do that for a period of 2-3 weeks. And then if I feel like I need an extra day off, I take the day off, but then I'll go back to a 2-day split or a 3-day split sometimes, but most of the time it's a 2-day split, and I'll do that for 3 or 4 weeks. So I go back and forth. But of course, when I'm doing the 2-day split, then I up the volume to compensate for the lower amount of frequency. Getting bigger yet? Am I getting bigger yet? Am I getting bigger yet? Am I getting bigger yet? Hey, speed that shit up, Sunil! I want to see smoke coming from that machine. Hey Adam, see, I just did a circuit. I carried the dumbbells from there over around. I did the Adam training program right there.
That's all it is. See? That's all it is.
I see what kind of torture you put clients through. It's just
right
unnecessary bullshit you make them do.
That's all
You're
you
just
do.
running around with weights.
So Jesse, we're gonna do an exercise over here. So I need you to
See how he
dumbbells.
see, he's good. He tunes me out right away. He's good at that, I tell you. That's what I do too, Adam. I tune me out too. Just doing some lightweight here. Just nice sort of stuff. Just for fun. Nice little conversation. We're gonna start doing some storytelling. You know, I don't know, what do you guys like? You like fantasy, science fiction, comic book stuff? What do you like? Mystery, suspense? Welcome to Mystery Theater. Today I'm going to talk about the haunted woods. Oh, or something like that. I feel good. Hey guys. I feel like, yeah, you're talking to me. Well, you didn't want your 5 minutes of fame, eh? You just avoided the camera, just like camera shy. How are you ever gonna get famous as like a trainer of the stars if you don't step in front of the camera, Adam? I don't know, I don't get it. I like doing leg press too because it gives you moments to see. Look down at your tank top and see that you have holes in it. And cat hair. Cat hair tank tops. Like I said, I'll be selling the cat hair tank tops pretty soon. Made to order. Made to order. Screw it, I'll just send my cat to you. Too fat? You can't get out? Me? Time to lower those carbs down a little bit, huh? Legs are a little tight from last time. Just exactly the way I like them. I like them a little bit tight, just a little bit tight, and it's perfect training them. So I hope this helps you understand how to make your own training program and maybe how to mess around with the frequency and the volume. If you need to get a template or whatever, you can get it at my website. The 2-day split training program is on my website, so be sure to check that out if you want. And that's at naturalgallantbodybuilding.com. Thanks a lot to the Patreon supporters for helping me out and helping me bring this content to you for free. So thanks a lot to them. Keep them in your little prayers at night. And share my stuff, because you can do it. It's the right thing to do. And in order to be a proper Gallantian, you got to share my stuff. That's right. All right, take care. Yeah, I'll see you later. Hey, don't be doing a drive-by posing. Come on, man. Come on. Right, I can see that in your eye. I can see what you're gonna do. Did I know you from a Bengals video in the 80s? You know what I mean? Walking in a gym.